I want to accomplish what Heavenly Father wants me to accomplish.
Well, welcome to everyone to Grit and Grace, episode 21.
Wow,
with,
21.
21?
Let's go.
Is that your number?
No.
No. Okay, I was like,
Two,
maybe that's
close.
Okay, I was like 20. I was
The
like, I don't
two's
remember
in
that
there.
being your number. Okay, cool.
The two's in there.
Chase Roberts, he's a wide receiver for BYU. Everyone knows him. The girls, especially. The girls always know him, but he's more than that. I've kind of gotten to talk to him a little bit. Huge believer of Jesus. That's like the number one thing. Whenever I see videos on Chase, whenever I just like see anything about you, it's always something to do with Jesus, something to do with faith, and I really respect that. And that's why I like wanted you to come on, because I wanted to hear more about you as a person.
Yeah, well, he's everything. I mean, when you put Jesus at the center of your life, I feel like life just goes a little bit better.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And he's the perfect example. He's the toughest guy I know. So on the football field, off the football field, you know, he's someone I try to emulate for sure. And I'm sure you've seen that in your life as well.
100%. If you want to just introduce yourself,
Okay.
so people know like where you're from, kind of your timeline from like birth to this point, like where you're at right now.
Okay, nice. Let's do it. So I was born in Ogden, Utah. We moved to Highland when I was 3. So I've been in Highland my whole life, and that's what I remember. And Highland really is just a great place. I have an older sister and a younger brother, and he's on a mission right now in Bolivia.
Cool.
So I miss him a lot. He's coming home this summer though, so I'm excited to see him, and it's gonna be awesome to that reunion.
Mm-hmm.
He's a stud, a good football player too. He'll try to come play at BYU as well. And then my older sister, we're best friends. You know, we're really close. My mom and dad are empty nesters now, but they're my world. I love them so much, and that's a little bit. Anything else?
So so you went to high school at Highland?
So it was American Fork.
Okay.
I could have gone to Lone Peak. It was I was right on the border. Decided to go to American Fork and played football, baseball, basketball there, and had a great time. Ran some track. Ultimately, football was my favorite,
The number one,
and kind of what our team excelled at the most, and what I excelled at the most, and started getting offers to play at BYU and Utah. Ultimately chose BYU, and I just felt that was the place that I needed to be my best self, and also to have a good football career. And it's been amazing. BYU's been such a special place. The people that I meet, the connections that I make, like stuff like this doesn't happen, if I went to whatever USC or anywhere else. It's a special place to be able to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and to just be myself and to find joy in life. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I love the outdoors. I love boating, hiking, fishing, anything that's outdoors. And that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
That's sick. Where'd you serve your mission?
I was in Canada. Sorry, I left
that
that's
out. Right. Yeah, that's right. You served.
He
served in my hometown mission. What years was that?
So this was 2019 to 2021. So I had like a year before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then another year with COVID kind of lockdown, which was hard, but such a blessing. We found a lot of miracles, especially during that COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Calgary, like that area, so beautiful, a bunch of diversity. I actually spoke Tagalog.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Okay.
So the Filipino
there's a lot of Philippines.
So many. Yeah, it was actually second. So there's Canadians, and then there's Filipino people is the second most populated. Yeah,
literally.
There's like 100,000 in Calgary, something like that. So we had a lot of work to do, and we were the first. Me and my companion were the first 2 Tagalog-speaking missionaries in Canada, which was kind of a cool honor.
Wow. Was it just something that they were like, we want to open that up to see what it's like?
Yeah, well, they created a ward there. So there was the first ward.
I never knew
with just Filipino speakers. So they're like, hey, you guys.
Never knew this.
You guys join in this ward. You're the only 2 missionaries that we got that speak Tagalog, or at least are learning Tagalog. And my mission president was like, I don't really have any I don't know what you guys go find Filipino people and baptize them. So we had the whole area, and we just kind of freestyled it and got with the members, and it was such a blast. So all 2 years I was in that same ward, same people. We split into 2 wards and then eventually into 3 at the end, just with all the work that was going on and the people that were joining. And it was pretty amazing just to see the miracles. And I think there's now a Filipino stake in Calgary, which
It does not surprise me.
It's amazing. Like, those people are so dedicated, and they love the
Humble.
gospel. They love Jesus. They love serving. They're so happy. Like, I miss them a lot.
They really are. They really. Have you been back to Calgary?
I've been back once with my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
it's
a couple
not.
years ago.
It's not like a destination. I mean, unless you go to Banff, but like Lethbridge, like where I'm from, it's not like you don't just go there to it. Like, it's not like a vacation spot. But yeah, no, I remember playing basketball, club basketball in spring, and there would be teams from Calgary, and they would just be Filipino teams.
Oh yeah, straight.
And you
Filipinos, they
knew it
love
was just going to be the
basketball, too.
scrappiest game of your life because they're so scrappy. But they love basketball.
But
They
they're
love
not above 6. They're none of them.
no,
will be
oh,
above
none of them.
6'4",
No,
but they'll-
no. But they're all like
They'll steal the ball from you.
Kobe lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just up in your face. Just
Exactly.
yeah, no, I love that. I love that
They're
whole
the best.
culture. It's true. So yeah, I wanted to dive in, kind of like obviously there's like the football chase, which like we'll talk about, and I want to kind of see how we can integrate who you are with your football. But like a huge thing that I like to ask people is like their why, and
I love
so I like to kind of like talk about my why as like a why triangle. It's actually tattooed on my foot. So there's like a triangle, and I feel like when your why is so deep, the how and the what of life are just irrelevant. You'll just figure it out, and you'll do things, and you can do it with joy. Discipline, when you have a why, isn't as, relevant because your why is so deep, and you know why you're doing what you're doing. But I like to like kind of 3 pillars. So it's like your people, your dreams, and then in a way your revenge. But not a lot of people hear revenge and they go like dark, like I hate this person. Not even revenge, but like just revenge for yourself, revenge maybe people that doubted you, maybe those kind of things. So I just want to dive in, and whether that's football or how you live life, just dive into your why of why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you playing football at such a high level? Why are you choosing to go back and play another year? Why the NFL? Why everything? Yeah. I know
Yeah.
it's kind of open-ended question.
No,
but
I
yeah.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
leaves it to where I can just go. And,
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, my why is definitely centered on Christ and my Heavenly Father. And ever since I was little, I've always felt a peace, like going to church.
I was going to say, is
learning
this
the
like
gospel.
a young thing that you've always
Yeah.
felt? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you've
and then-
always had this like connection.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, I just felt this peace and this calling, I guess, that like live right. I've got great things in store for you. Like don't drop the ball. Like let's go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use you in a way that requires being a disciple of Christ. And I think I've always felt a deep desire to just try to be different and not follow what other people are doing. And ever since I was little, this is one thing that kind of hopefully doesn't take like a different take, or people don't take it the wrong way, but I've never sworn in my life, and I think it's hilarious when people swear. And I think
Oh, that's crazy.
know.
London, have you sworn? Have you sworn?
everyone
Okay, good.
swears.
So I'm just trying to
And
make
it's
sure
totally
that
fine.
it's not. Yeah.
My family does, like we have a lot, but that was one decision that I made when I was little.
That's so
like,
cool.
I
Like,
know,
no, it
like
really
it's,
is.
it's something little, like
And it doesn't even have to be like it's weird because like as you're saying it, you're kind of like it doesn't.
know,
Yeah,
like
it's sick. It's so sick.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And it's something that I don't know, that I decided when I was little. I'm gonna be different, and like not that it's a huge deal, but I'm gonna talk different than everyone else. I'm not gonna swear, especially when I got to junior high and high school, and everyone started swearing. So that was a decision that I made. I think it set like a foundation of, I can be different. I can not do what everyone else is doing, and it's hard. Like there's times you just want to be cool, and there's a nice phrase that you could say that sounds way better when you swear.
Even when you score a touchdown,
Exactly.
like in front of everyone. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah.
Exactly. And stuff like that little decisions that I made when I was little that, hey, I want to be different, and I want to, try to separate myself from other people and from the world, I guess, the worldly things. And not that it was a huge decision, but for me it was. And that for me it was like I can make decisions, that are different. And then going on to high school and decisions that I made there, and that I was just trying to be as connected with Christ as I could. And that's really my why is I want to to please him. I want to, make sure that I'm in good standing with God. And I know that when I do that, everything else falls into place, whether it's football, whether it's family, whether it's whatever circumstance that I'm in, hard times, that I can rely on him, knowing that he's, has a calling. And for each and every one of us, we all have a certain calling that we can achieve, and different promptings that we receive. I'm sure there was a time where you felt, hey, I need to start a podcast. Little things like that, that, hey, if I wasn't in the right place to do a podcast or something like this, then I wouldn't have been able to accomplish what he wanted me to accomplish. Little things like that. And then I remember coming back from my mission, and there was a time where I got into this group chat with the football team, and they added me, and this was the first week, and I was hearing a lot of, I guess in the group chat, there was a lot of talking about things that I wasn't super...
Yeah. Classic, just college.
Which is normal, Now that I've been in college for a long time, I know it's, it's just how it is. But I said in the group chat, and I just wanted to, be myself. This is... And obviously back from your mission, you're a little more
very RM,
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is good, you know, and you want to stay like that, you know, and there's obviously things you need to change when you get back. But, and I just said, hey guys, can we stop talking like this? And there was a lot of people that started attacking me, I felt like, frick, I want to be cool. I want to be, in. Guys started leaving the chat, kicking me out, stuff like that. And it was cool to see though, there was a couple guys that came up after, I really respect you for that, and for standing up and being yourself, not being afraid, I guess. And later, those guys that were attacking me, and who was this mother effing, and they became my greatest mentors, over the season, and really took, put their arm around me, taught me a lot of the routes and different things and concepts, and when to sit and when to keep it on the run, stuff like that. Because I think they respected me, and just being myself, not compromising who I want to be, and the goals that I want to reach. And that's always been, I guess, the focus, and the why is I want to accomplish what Heavenly Father wants me to accomplish. And it's going to take a lot of hard decisions and things that I don't really want to do. But ultimately, I'm going to do them, no matter the difficulty, I guess. And I make a lot of mistakes, and there's times I, pray at night. I'm sorry, I definitely didn't come closer to you today. But the cool thing is that I can talk with him and then repent and come back to him, and that next day try to have a perfect day that next day, and then a perfect 2 days, and then a perfect week. But I always have that day that I mess up, and that's life, and that's okay. But I don't know if that kind of encompassed your question.
Well, that encompasses everything, for sure. If you look at the triangle, that really is that could be the center of your triangle, for sure. And the 100%. That kind of encompasses everything. I like what you said. Remind me what you said about the people. So if we even were to get even kind of more detailed, because God and the Savior kind of can encompass, I think everything. But if you were to kind of narrow it down, your people, who are your people? Why are you doing what you're doing for your people? Or what part of your people motivates you, keeps you going? And then your dreams, I guess they can be dreams as in, making sure that you do always have his will in mind. But also maybe temporal dreams, dreams that you actually want to accomplish here on earth. I love that. And then as far as your revenge, maybe some things, maybe some stories of some people that have said something that you still think about sometimes. You're okay, I could do this. You know what I mean? Motivate you. Starting with your people, I guess. Of course, the people. I think the youth of the church and the youth of the world are my focus every day, and it doesn't have. I wasn't expecting that. That's sick. I think that's something. Being a football player, you step off the field, win or lose, there are kids that are ecstatic to see you. If you lost by 30 points, they don't care at all. And it just keeps that in perspective, wow, what we're doing makes a difference. And it's not the winning or the losing, it's
the people that are watching us, what we do on the field, what we do off the field.
There's
after
so many
game.
BYU kids. I mean,
Oh
I
my
walk
gosh.
in and I'm like, even my dad went to BYU, and so we would come to Utah like once a year.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, you know what I mean? And so I can only, and it's weird now that we're the
Yeah.
age of the football players, that it's like, well,
Exactly.
you're the football player. I'm the
Oh, yeah.
age, bro. I'm in there.
Well, we were talking about it when we were in the hot tub. We actually were in the hot tub a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And if he didn't get injured, he'd probably be
I'd be,
one
in
of the
the,
starting.
I'd be in the league if I didn't rupture my
You'd probably be in the
patella.
league,
I'd
yeah,
be,
that's
yeah,
right.
it's
You'd
just,
be
I'm
step
an
ahead.
injured guy. Yeah. Yeah, no. But yeah, it's true though. Like it really is. Like
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how many kids are looking up to you.
Yeah.
A lot.
And
Like
s-
a
yeah.
lot.
And you see it after games, and that's really a big why for me too. Is wow, these kids don't care if we win or lose, and I'm so focused on that win during the week that I forget about that. And when we lose, I'm devastated. Obviously, I'm heartbroken that we want to win for the fans. We want to win for, for ourselves.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
revenge part,
Mhm.
like getting like what we want and like.
Yeah.
Proving everyone wrong,
Mhm.
But in reality, walking off the field and seeing those kids' faces light up, just seeing us, is just a tender part of every single game, win or lose. And I love those kids, the youth of this world, this nation, that are soon to be, the ones leading the world. And they're a big part of my focus, and I think they should be a big part of everyone's focus. Is we need to not only set good examples for them, but be around them, and to make sure that they're taken care of, and that they have people in their life that they can emulate and look up to, and know that it's. They always see like cool as these people in Hollywood and all these things, and that's cool, and having the sexiest girlfriend and all these things, and whatever, that's their focus, or whatever, doing cool whatever. But in reality, it's they really want to see someone that is different, and that they can like kind of flips a switch in their mind, like, oh, like
Well,
I don't have
remember-
to be like them,
I remember, and we're gonna get to the dreams and the revenge part, but
Yeah.
I remember I can't remember what video it was. I saw but they were talking. It was on a podcast. You guys were talking about this idea of cool, but then Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's so it's so interesting. It's so interesting because as coming from Canada, coming to Utah, it's interesting that it's almost like, even if we look at in the lens of the church, we kind of see this idea that it's almost cool. It is cooler to be edgy.
Yeah.
Like if
for
you're not
sure.
edgy and you're not doing things like, again, if you're not like breaking a few commandments, or you're not
Yeah.
doing some things against the grain, you're not that cool. But if you're like straight laced, loving Jesus, you're kind of like, it's not that cool, bro. Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't say I'm that straight laced guy because I'm not. But like, I mean, I need to be better. But yeah, just what are your thoughts on that? The idea of being cool and then integrating cool with Jesus, and how the world is like viewing it. It's such a weird thing.
And I don't think it's necessarily being this stereotypical
No.
robot. Like,
No.
be you. Like especially with like tattoos. We were talking about
Yeah.
that before. My grandma has these sleeves all up and down her arm. She is the most
No
amazing
way.
Christ-like person that
Your grandma does.
Oh yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
shocks me. That's
I know,
crazy.
I know.
Was she a convert?
She was. So she was. No, actually, she was born in the church. Yeah, her
No
parents were
way.
converts from Australia, and they came here, and she grew up in the church.
I need to see a picture of this.
Oh yeah, I have one. I'll show you after. It's
Just sleeved
it's
up.
awesome. Yeah.
That's so
Oh
sick.
yeah, she's amazing, and she's the most Christ-like person that I've ever met in my life. Talking about like the focus on people and loving people. There's
She's
no
got
one.
it.
Oh, she's got it. Like
Wow.
she is number one that I've ever seen. When it comes to the Christ-like love towards people, and those are her tattoos. It's people.
Yeah.
She has hearts for every one of her grandchildren. She has
So
flowers for every one of her kids. She has her fun stuff too. She has her Royal Caribbean cruise line because she loves cruising.
Yeah.
But it's her. Like it's her. It's her heart. It's her love,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what I think is the most Christ-like. Is when you can be yourself
Uh-huh.
and whether it is a little edgy, whether it is, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can be so Christ-like and loving, and those are the people that Jesus Christ that Jesus Christ he wants in the world, is the people that are just themselves, that are real, but that are God-fearing and love Christ, and aren't afraid to share that and to show people that. And I think that's ultimately, the key is understanding, having a relationship with Heavenly Father to understand, okay, I want to be myself, and I want to be, I know, Heavenly Father, you created me in a way that I have a potential, that I have, something to give to this world. And how can I do that in my way?
Yeah.
And combining that with, ultimately, though, I'm going to do it your way.
Yeah.
And use me, my personality, to do it your way.
Yeah.
And to follow what you have in store for me. And I think finding that balance and following the Spirit, being in a place where you can really follow the Spirit, is the ultimate key. And I don't know, I kind of went on a tangent there. I don't know
No, it's true. Because it is true. It's
just
just it's the simplicity that you can be yourself and be cool and have Jesus in the picture.
Yeah.
Where I think some people, I've been there where it's like, oh, does being cool mean that Jesus is in the picture?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it can mean that. And
Yeah.
I can still be myself and still have those traits and characteristics. And so that's awesome. Now, looking at kind of like your dreams, this is like an interesting thing. What are your dreams?
Ultimately,
Like, where do you want to be in like
yeah.
5-10 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, my main priority is family. That's the main thing right now. And I want to have a happy family. And that's my dream, is to be able to take care of them and to have a home that is centered on Christ. And
You're too good for this world, bro.
no.
I'm like
it's just my
listening.
dreams.
I'm like listening to Chase's answers, and I'm like, I'm like,
It's hard because
it's like I'm like, you are too damn good. I'm like, no, he's too good. You're too good.
No, it's hard because that's
All your answers are great, and I know that the thing is not frustrating, but I'm like, they're all authentic answers. He's not putting up.
That's
a
the
front.
hard
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
is like, I'll try
These are
to,
your real answers.
it's real. Like, I'm just trying.
And you told me that prior to the podcast. He said, everyone, he's like, I just want you to know, like, this is me. Like, I talk about this all. I'm like, bro, I believe you. This is so sick. It's so cool, bro. It's humbling. It's like,
Yeah,
I really
wish
admire
I could be
you.
more
I really
fun,
admire
and
you.
I don't know.
Dude, I really admire you.
No, I appreciate
You're
that.
amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. That's me. I try to, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should be more.
I was like expecting like, yeah, I want to be like a draft pick in the NFL, have
No,
like a
of
house
course.
there, have the. But he's like, family.
Well, those
I'm
are
like,
the things-
yes, that is a great answer, bro.
Well, those are the things that motivate me to do that, to be a first round draft pick, to be if I didn't have the goal of having a happy family and to take care of them and do fun stuff and have fun toys and
Yeah.
be able to travel with my family, like, I'm going to go be a first round draft. Like, that's the motivation. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from, I want to, like, I don't know, that doesn't
cool.
help me. That's not
what
what I want. And that's not what I feel is gonna get me to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do whatever I can to focus on what I need to achieve my ultimate goal, and that's to have a happy family. And that's ultimately what I think.
It's working, bro. It's all I can say. It's literally working. So don't change your why. Don't change your dreams. Just keep it. Because it's working. Now, like, looking at your revenge, and this is where I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Because like the family, and then obviously the kids within like this, especially this community, but just kids in general looking up to you. But like looking at your revenge, when I think of like winning, like I'm and I know you have to have some level of competition and competitive spirit in you. For me, I'm like, my medium is just through sales. That just happens to be my medium. That's my sport. Yours is football. Me, I go to I love Michael Jordan. I love guys like Kobe. Like, I love the the level of like that dark Mamba. You know what I mean?
Just like different.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
And so I'm like,
I
I'm
love
not getting that from you at all. But like, you have to have some of that, because that's where I'm like, I'm like, no way, this man's so good at football, but he's just, this is like everything is perfect. What's your revenge? Like,
I'm not like
no, but
there
what's
is
your,
a part of me, that I
what's the kind of the dark side? Not the dark side
Yeah.
as in sinful.
No, I totally get.
But
what
what's
you're saying.
where's your dark energy derived from?
He's
He's like, I got none.
No, I mean, there's always that fire. Like, honestly, I know I said I don't swear, but there's times on the football field that it'll come out. And like I'm not perfect.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
promise. I don't want to put off that. Like, I
No,
don't want to
no,
put,
not
like,
at
I
all.
am a very sinful man.
Very simple.
that
Like,
struggles.
just so you guys know, I'm sinful.
No, I struggle and with
Yeah.
and these are my motivations. Like, that's what I'm sharing is my motivation and what
Of course.
drives me.
Of course.
And what I try to do every day.
course,
And
yeah.
I fail at it.
Of course.
So,
But not even
ultimately,
that dark
there's-
energy is even simple. It doesn't even have to be.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and I feel like the main thing that drives me obviously is those things that I've shared.
The more important things. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's motivation and competition. Like, I am so competitive, like, when it comes to whatever it is, board games, football, like, whatever it is, there's that natural just energy that I think you can channel into something great. That doesn't have, like you said, doesn't have to come off negative, but just that you get into this place where you're focused. And I think that's very important in life. And when it comes to football, I don't have that, like, where I'm listening to hard rock before, like, I try to calm down. Like, that's the way that
I was gonna ask you, how do you tap into that?
place. When I tap into that, I guess, dark place, it's a very calm place where I can be at peace and not necessarily like throw punches and like, but it's like even that like, that I was just doing is a peaceful, like,
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense, but in my mind, like, that's what really gets me, like, I'm going to make this play, like, give it to me, give the ball to me. Like, when I go to Jake and I'm like, give me the ball. Like, it genuinely, it's from that place of, like, because I want to, glorify, what I want to and what glorify God and be in a place where I can accomplish what I want to accomplish. And that's what kind of gets me into that motivation, dark place that I can go make a play. And but it's hard because it doesn't come from a place of just
Anger.
pure Mamba mentality. That's not me. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I love Kobe and I love what he does. That's Kobe though. I can't do what Kobe does. I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. and going, doing his workout regimen. That's like
Listening to the Have you seen that?
Exactly.
He's like
Like,
listening to the Halloween theme song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more along that line.
Yeah,
I'll
and
listen to
that's
the
awesome.
Halloween theme
Yeah.
song while
Yeah.
doing the stair stepper, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? This is crazy. But that doesn't mean that that's the
Everyone's-
right way.
yeah.
And that's why I love winning. Like, I love, Tim Grover? Like that. I love the idea of winning.
Yeah.
Because I think winning is not just winning in sports, it's winning in life.
Exactly.
It's winning in your relationship with God. It's winning in your relationship with your spouse. It's winning in your relationship with your friends.
Yeah.
It's like winning means just, like, if you're going to be a garbage man, you're going to be the best garbage man.
Yeah, I love
possible.
that. Yeah.
The janitor. If I'm a janitor, I'm going to clean the best. And I think that's what winning means for you. Like, what does it mean to win? Like, what did winning mean to you?
It's a great question. I think a lot along your lines of that garbage man that does the best he can and everything. And I think you can't, especially as a football player, you can't step on the field and be a true winner when it comes to football if you're not winning in life, if you're not winning outside of football. And Coach Kalani Sitake is the best at explaining this.
Seems like an amazing man.
Amazing. And that's why I think we're such a good team and why we win on the field is because he emphasizes probably more so winning off the field. And that comes with family. That comes when you're after a game. He is the best example of how to act after you lose. Like, you be a man. Like, you don't go home to your family especially those that have a wife and kids. You know, you don't go to your family and mope about this loss. You go to your family and you show up and you love them. You win in that area. Yeah, you lost in football, but go win with your family. Go act like nothing ever happened. You go be cheerful. Go play with your kids. Go be good. Go be a good husband. Go be a good boyfriend. Whatever it is, like that's what he emphasizes, no matter what. And there was a time after a big loss, and he shared this story with us. And,
Which loss was it?
This was before I actually arrived.
Okay.
I think it was against like a top 10 team, but it was a close game. It was a hard season for Kalani, one of his first 2 seasons, and he was driving home with his family after the game, and his son was in the back of the car. They were like listening to music and having fun, and he was just being a good husband and a good father. And his son goes, "Dad, did we win or did we lose?" And that was the moment for him that he just started crying and was like I'm doing okay. Like,
Yeah.
even though we lost and all these fans are booing me and whatever, I'm winning in my family life. You know, my kid doesn't even know that I lost, you know, a huge game in my career. And that's the most Christ-like thing that I can see, you know, especially from a coach and an example to me. When he can step in the car with his family and be the same person, win or lose. So that's what I ultimately think it means to win. And in life, yeah, it's a lot of different aspects, and ultimately I want to win in football, right? That's
Yeah, no, 100%.
right now is like that's what we want to do, but that only comes with winning in life.
Yeah, it's this idea that the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Exactly.
And it's like, if you're going to do something in one way, just do it in the other way. And it just all, that atomic habits, of kind of building off of everything that you're doing. It's just this cool principle of life, of how we live and what we do. Looking at kind of football directly and kind of like your vision and your plans and your goals, what does that look like with football, just football?
Yeah, so ultimately, this is my last year at BYU, and I want to up my stock and go play in the NFL. So if I can do that and have a great year, what they want to see is a lot of production and just the little things with routes. And
sorry, I interrupted you,
No,
but
go ahead.
like with the NFL right now, are you talking to agents? Are you working with agents? So they're kind of giving you like, hey, do you need to like
Exactly.
up this and you need to do this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talk with them. There's kind of a middleman that kind of relays everything to me. But yeah, all the scouts in the NFL from almost every team, you know, have their, and this is what we want to see from him. We think he could be a draft pick, stuff like that. This is what we want to see, though, if he wants to be one of the top guys. And so I take that feedback, and then that is also a part of my drive that I want to, you know, ultimately go to the NFL.
What are
and
some
get
of the
drafted by
feedback
him.
that you've been given? Like, what are some of the things that they're like, oh yeah, like he's dialed in this aspect of his
Yeah.
game, and then what are some things that are like, oh dude, Chase needs to. If he doesn't improve on this, he's not going to be a first round. Because they're sticklers, bro.
No, they are.
Like my
Yeah,
friend,
and
like
it's
Tanner,
great.
that play, he's like, bro, they're so hard. Like they don't
It's
every
a
little
business
thing.
Yeah. They love my measurables, you know, tall, and like height, weight, strong, hands, good hands. Obviously speed. I'm not a 4.3 guy. I'm not going to blaze by anyone in the NFL. But I can find open space and catch the ball, and then yards after catch and shifty. Releases I can work on is what they say, just like getting in and out of breaks. Being a little quicker on that, but that's hard, you know, with a bigger frame, and they understand that. So little things like that they want to see coming off the line, not getting pressed or jammed up, being able to get into my route and then get out quick is kind of the biggest thing. So feet, I need to get my feet a little quicker. And then speed. If I can run a good 40 time at pro day, then that'll up my stock a lot.
Are you working on that, or is that kind of like you're consciously working on the 40
Exactly.
time?
That's a big.
What are you at right now? You're 40?
Like a 4.5, like a high 4.5.
Which is fast.
Still fast, but if I can get into the 4.4, that's gonna be huge.
Even just a little. It's crazy how the tiniest little thing.
That could,
like,
honestly,
4.5 to 4.4 is like NFL scouts are like, oh.
No,
what?
it's so true though. Like
crazy.
that can get you from like round 3, like a round 2 pick to a round 6 pick. Like honestly, like that point little which is I think dumb, but that's just how it works.
It's a business. It's statistics.
Especially as like a white kid, a white receiver, they want to see they want to have credibility on why they drafted me, because a lot of people are going to be like, come on, like,
because of the
you
business
drafted
side
this-
of things.
Yeah,
like,
you drafted
fans,
this kid that runs a 4.5 and doesn't have a lot, only caught 850, 900 yards. That's like, why, But if I can run a 4.4, they'll be like, oh, that's why you drafted him. Stuff like that. It's so dumb, but it's a business, and that's how it runs, and it's things you need to deal with and understand. And I'm trusting that everything will work out.
Yeah,
Just doing
no,
me, and
100%. You could have definitely got drafted this last draft.
Uh-huh.
Where do you think you would have fallen if you would have drafted? Realistically, where do you think,
realistically, I was projected later rounds, so 6th round,
Sixth
5th,
round.
6th, 7th round. Yeah,
but
possibly
you think
free agent.
after that, giving it one more year you're gonna be able to be pushed to
hopefully up my stock.
that
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The business is wild. Like, even my friend, he should have gone to second or third, but just because he had a 2-year previous ACL tear, they're like, no, you're going down.
Yeah.
And he was fully healed, but they didn't even. That alone was just a liability for them, and so it's interesting hearing that. And so as far as like your squad going into this season, like how do you feel about your squad going into this season?
Awesome. We have a lot of guys returning, which is awesome. A lot of great players, and the vibe that we have, like, it's still just getting so much better. Like when I first arrived here at BYU.
Yeah, I
there was
want
a
to
lot
hear
of-
the difference between. 'Cause
Yeah,
same with
no.
Isaiah. He told me, he was like, dude, it's different.
It's so different, yeah. When we first arrived, like, a lot of entitlement, I feel like. The leaders weren't doing what they needed to make sure that everyone was loving each other and playing for each other. Because they're ultimately the people we look up to and set the tone for when we step on the field. We're looking to them to go make the plays and be the... But when it's all, like, them focused, and, like, it's hard to connect, and it's hard to really want to play for them. And it wasn't everyone, like, not all the leaders. Like, there was, like, a couple guys, so I'm not pointing out anyone.
No, not at all.
Ultimately, though, when we were able to get a leadership that kind of was, I guess, a team that was player-led, and that's what Kalani has been emphasizing ever since I've been here, we need the leaders to coach this team. It needs to be a player-led team where everyone's on board, where we love each other. When we step on the field, we know we have each other's back. And the past 2 years have been like that, where we have each other's back, we love each other. And the off-season workouts have been amazing, setting the tone for the season to where, there's no ounce of blood and sweat that we leave, everything, I guess, is left on the field because we love each other. And it's like a team. It's like, a battle. We're warriors that are going out and fighting for each other because we love each other. We love the fans. We love Cougar Nation, everything about it. And there's just a vibe that comes that you grow, you grow together, and it takes time. It takes an off season to get there, but we did it, and I think we're even upping that this year.
100%.
Yeah,
It's crazy
awesome.
what buying in does. Like, when
Exactly.
everyone's bought in, you're like,
Exactly. It's
you're like
so
looking
fun.
around, you're like, all right, this could be different. But like the culture of like a team when now everyone's bought in, it just everything it's like a house. It's like a house on a foundation of cards. It's like it's not gonna stay. It just shakes when things get hard. And dude, I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I like growing up watching BYU and going into this year. There's no reason why I can't see you guys not.
Exactly.
Like, what's this? Like, the thing is, like, that's also another thing is like, what's the limit? Like, do you guys like? And this is a curious question for you, but do you guys go like? For me, I always struggled with college football because I was like, everyone's playing, but I don't know if any of these teams really believe they're going to win the national championship.
Exactly.
It's like they're just playing
Yeah.
because it's like a medium to get to the NFL. But I'm like, if I'm playing, I want to win. Like, I want to win the chip. Are you guys? Is that what you guys are going for? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
sick.
And honestly, I don't.
That's
think
good to know because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, why are we playing to be in the quarterfinals? And then no, we're playing to win.
Oh yeah, and I don't think at the beginning of last year, I don't think we believed that. But along the as we saw, guys, when we play together, when we love each other, we're unstoppable. Like, we destroy teams.
Yeah.
You saw it against Kansas State. We destroyed them. And if we played, there was this period of time right before halftime and right after halftime where we just dominated. Like if we can play like that the whole season, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we will destroy teams, and that's
It's just buying into the belief that we can win.
it's the
chip.
belief.
Yeah.
It's the belief. It's the manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, especially after this past year that we had, we believe, like we are manifesting it. Like we can win a national championship, and we will if we do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Like we have. We
so
might.
sick, dude.
Yo,
so
it's amazing.
Sick. Yeah, it's so sick.
Yeah, we don't have the top 5 stars, all the 5 stars in the nation, but we saw it last year. It doesn't matter. Like
Literally.
transfer portal, everything has gone so crazy that the team that's most synergized and love each other, that's the team that's going to win. And back to, you saw it in the national championship, the teams that came together. You heard Notre Dame where they were baptizing each other, and they were so centered on Christ.
It's
And they
back to the off the field. What's happening?
exactly
off.
what's happening off the
Yeah.
field brings it on the field.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, that's why Notre Dame and Ohio State were in the national championship.
I was gonna ask you why do you think why do you think Alabama? Why do you think all these classic? Because college football is ran by the same classic teams. Do you think it's because of the buy-in culture? Like, do you think it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you saw Saban and how he was so good at that. That's why he won for so many years at Alabama. And once they kind of lost that identity and they started losing. And they have the same
Same recruit.
level.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if it matters, and I can't speak like but I just speak on a mentality thing.
You can see it, yeah.
I see it, and I'm just like, well, if we I don't know if it's a recruit game anymore. I think it is, but I'm like, I don't know if you saw that video of that D3 offensive lineman against the Alabama guy. He destroyed him.
Yeah.
He bodied this kid,
Yeah, awesome.
and the comment was like, there's so much talent out there that's just
Oh.
not even looked at. And it's the same thing where I'm like, okay, 5-star recruit, and then I'm like a 1-star recruit. And I'm like, well, if you're built and believed in, that's the Zach. You're the same level. There's
Yeah.
not like any difference. Like, obviously there's like, guys will speak Georgia, Alabama, have like all these amazing athletes. And I'm like, well, if you're in the D1, if you're a Division I football player, you're right there. You're in the same category, right? And so I think it's just a mentality thing, but I could be wrong.
No,
Maybe
you're
I'm
exactly
wrong.
right. You're exactly right. And I think the hype and everything gets blown up so much. And the guy that ran the 4.4, the guy that ran the 4.5, that's the D1 guy and the D3 guy,
It's crazy.
And it's just that little difference, but the mentality of this 4.5 guy that was a little slower or whatever destroys that guy, and that's what you see. You go look at the NFL and all those dudes on the team. A 1-star in high school, no star in high school, a 2-star in high school.
Well, you see all these
it's-
stories like Tom
exactly.
Brady. You see I don't know, Cooper Kupp is like another one. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
Where did he come
Exactly.
from? It's like, and then that's a guy for you. Like to
Exactly.
see Cooper Kupp.
Oh, it's
like,
awesome.
you're like, yes.
I love
This is me.
I love it.
I'll wrap it up here, but like as far as like your weaknesses, as far as things that you and it's not even back to simple. It's not even simple.
Yeah.
A large portion of this podcast actually is themed of just like men's mental health. Not
Okay.
even men's mental, just mental health.
Yeah.
It can be like a weird topic for people, and it can be, but it doesn't have to be. It's pretty. But like for you, what are some of the weaknesses that you've had, or challenges that you've had to overcome as you've gotten older, and what have you used to overcome those?
Yeah. Every day I struggle. At night, with discipline, with things that I think all of us struggle with, and you'd think, being a football player at BYU that everything's picture perfect and, that I have it all and whatever. But in reality, there's a lot of days where I'm depressed. It's hard. And that's okay. You have to realize it, and that you have to know that there's tomorrow and that you can do a lot of good tomorrow. And that's what ultimately gets me excited, and it's a lonely path. As I said, as I strive to be different, it's very lonely at times because there's not a lot of people want to be around guys that, aren't fun, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
And all of high school, it was like that. I never had there was this friend group called the Boys, and I wanted to be a part of the Boys, but I didn't necessarily want to do a lot of the things that they were doing, and it was very lonely, because I never got invited to anything because they knew I wouldn't, have fun with them. And it got to a point where I was a lot of times I'm very lonely, and even now in life, and loneliness is very hard, and it causes depression, it causes issues, but just looking at it in an eternal perspective, knowing that everything's going to be okay, as long as I am praying to my Heavenly Father and making sure that I get on my knees at night and asking Him what I need to do that next day it always brings me peace, in those moments. And that's ultimately the only thing that gets me through. Like, I know I'm bringing it back to the gospel, but that's what, ultimately when it comes to mental health and being at your best self, like, you need someone that helps you through that. You can't do it alone. And that person for me is my Heavenly Father. And I need to pray to Him in order to get through hard times, loneliness, everything. And I think that's ultimately the only way. There's definitely people that can help you outside of here when it comes to physicians and different people like that. Those help a lot. But ultimately, I don't think if you're connected with, or if you have a relationship with Heavenly Father, it's going to be a lot harder to get through these challenges.
100%. No, I couldn't agree more. Thanks, brother. There's a loneliness in leadership.
There is.
No one talks about that. It's a lonely. Jesus, He walked the loneliest path. He was the most lonely out of us all. But I even think about other winners just in life. We talk about, like, I'm sure Kobe felt really lonely.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like anyone that wants to be a winner, that janitor or that football player or that husband, there's going to be times of a little bit loneliness because you're going against the grain. And going with the grain is, the last mile is always the least crowded. And usually the last mile is the people that aren't quite winning, to be honest with you, just to be straight. And I think it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see you, like, just be open about, that there's times of loneliness, and that this whole Chase Roberts, BYU wide receiver, like, it's not, it's great and it's amazing.
It's not what people think. It's exactly. No, it's not.
No, it's not. And that's good for people to know. But it's also amazing for people to know that you haven't been encompassed in this clout and this worldliness because of what you've been doing. You've chose to have integrity and be authentic to yourself. So you're amazing, brother. You're
Appreciate
amazing.
that.
The last question I always ask is, like, the name of the podcast is Grit and Grace.
Yeah, I love that.
It's my 2 favorite words. I always ask each person, like, when they hear that, what do they think of? And pretty much that. Grit and grace. There's a certain mentality, like we've been talking about, that you need to get through these times. It's a hard time to be alive, to be honest, with social media, with comparison, with competition, with everything. It takes a certain mentality and a certain grit. I love that word. It, like, encompasses that Mamba mentality with just drive to be yourself and to ultimately get to that place that you want to be at. And it encompasses a lot of other things. But I think adding that on to the last part of your phrase, grace, grit, and grace, it's combining that with being authentic, being yourself, and using the grace of God through that grit. And I don't think grit can only take you so far without adding the grace to it. And I think that's so cool that you understand that you've been able to put those two together. And when you have grit combined with that softer, I guess, love for God,
understanding that He's in it with you.
Mm-hmm.
This gritty world that we live in that we need to have in order to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can ultimately become successful when you add that in. And I feel like a lot of people don't add the grace to.
That's what
to
I
life.
find. I've had a lot of successful people on here, and every one of them is always like, I'm doing great in the grit.
Yeah.
But they're like, I'm struggling with
hard.
the grace. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Uh-huh.
It's
And there's
interesting.
also people that are relying solely on grace
And
to
there's no
achieve.
grit. It's like,
And there's no grit, and they don't make
Mhm.
it either. Yeah, you gotta combine those
combine
two.
the two.
And I
Yeah.
think those words encompass life.
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Grit and
I
grace,
think,
everyone.
I think Jesus, I think he was the perfect grit and grace guy.
He was the perfect grit
Yeah,
and grace guy,
100%.
for sure.
So cool, man. Well, appreciate once
No,
again
thank
for
you.
coming on. And
Yeah.
so that's a wrap for this episode.